Parenting OCD tip number 25, because I think we're on video 25 today. And in today's video, I'm going to give you tips on how to get school support, because if your teenager is anything like me, they will be avoiding trying to go to school, especially if they've got contamination OCD. So here are a few tips I picked up on the way on how to make school life less challenging. One of the ways I would recommend is to immediately go in and speak with the head of year or the headmaster and explain the challenges you're having and see what support they can offer you. For example, you can ask them to just confide in the few teachers who need to know, and obviously to stay discreet, because it's really important that they keep it from your child so that they don't feel that they're having any unwanted attention. But ask teachers not to draw attention to the child's OCD, not to make any reference to it, but just to stay discreet, because that's really important, because a lot of children and teenagers who are suffering from OCD like to keep it private because they're a bit embarrassed. Another way you can do it is ask for advance notice of anything that's likely to trigger an OCD meltdown in your child. For example, with my daughter, she had contamination OCD, and one thing that caused her a lot of stress was if they suddenly announced that they had to take blazers off or sweaters off for photographs, because she would then immediately go into a panic. And anything that she hadn't been prepared for, like she liked her sort of, they very much, children with OCD like routine. So when a routine is suddenly changed, like one thing that she used to hate was that when they used to have like recreational days or dress down days, because it was something different to the norm. And again, that used to get her quite stressed. Another thing you could ask for is flexibility around their learning, and ask whether they can offer you additional support that you can help your child with at home. This is what I did with my daughter. Very often we'd go off in the car and we would sit together and work through any work she needed to catch up on. Purely by sometimes I'd take photographs of the studies, or I'd ask for additional support and anything that I could help her with to stop her falling behind. And despite a very low school attendance at one point, she still walked away with all top grades in all of her exams, her GCSEs and her A-levels, and is now studying in her dream university in London, something we would never dream possible up to a few years ago. And to absenteeism, try and stop those nasty letters coming out, because you already feel a rubbish enough mum or dad anyway, and what you don't need is a reminder of that when you get these nasty threatening absenteeism letters. So speak with the head of year, and they will have ways, if they're anything like the school that my daughter went to, they will have ways of stopping those letters coming out, and I stopped them coming to me, and that made a big difference as well. And to ask for a quiet space for your child to work, because very often children with OCD, especially contamination OCD, will find it quite challenging when they're having an episode to be around people. So just ask whether they can have a secret code, again, something very discreet, whereby they can just be excused from class without offering any explanation, and they can just find a quiet place to work, because that can help them enormously as well, and avoid them having to come back home with an OCD meltdown. So I hope that's helped now, the parenting tip on trying to get school support and making school life a bit less challenging. If you've missed the other videos I've made in this series, then if you head over to my playlist, I've actually saved them there for you under the 30-day video challenge with all my other parenting tips. And don't forget to subscribe and like my videos so that you'll get access then to the next ones that I make.